Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to show a couple different apps we built and go through them, I guess, pretty quickly because you probably want to go home. So I was going to demo this on the iPad, but I'm improvising on the screen here, so hopefully it's going to work okay. I'm not really sure, but hopefully. So the first app I'm going to show, this is actually Lemonade Day. We built this actually, Google funded this project. It was built with only their approval. Their logo is on a lot of the screens because I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this. Basically, this app is to teach kids entrepreneurship. It was funded by a charity out of Houston that their goal is to reach 1 million children every year. They haven't reached that yet, but getting the Google sponsorship will obviously help them with that. So basically, this app, the kids come in, they do the different lessons, and the whole goal is to teach them how to run a business. And so when they go through here, there's lots of videos to watch and also quizzes to do and that sort of thing. So that's basically this app. There's 16 different lessons that the kids go through, and at the end they get like a free T-shirt if they complete it. And part of it is like, you know, starting your own lemonade stand and all this stuff and actually making money during the project. So that's the first one. Well, I have some connections down south, and also Jess has some connections with the other organization, Lemonade Day, that this is involved with. So basically, those two put together gave us a, basically, working with Google. So that's cool.
So, Chad, when you say it's for kids, like what age range?
There's going to be two apps. This is the first one. This one is targeted like 4 to 7, right? And the other one would be like 7 to 12. So really young kids that don't really know much, right? So that's why it's very like, we're trying to make it very game-like and that sort of thing. So as you saw, you go into the different levels here, and as you do things, you get lemons, right? So, and if you get all the lemons on all the lessons, that's when you get your T-shirt and stuff like that. So, yeah, okay. So that was the first one. So far, we're doing okay. See if the second one's going to work. Simulator is already in use. Okay. So the second app, which hopefully is going to work. Okay, so this is LearnZillion. It's an app that's actually, LearnZillion is a company that was funded based on a grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They gave $15 million to start this company, LearnZillion, and their main goal as a company is to basically get education out to third world countries, right? So if you're in a third world country, it's really hard to get education out there, right? How do you do that? Because you want the teachers to teach the material, but what if the teachers themselves don't know, right? Like you want a teacher to teach algebra, but the teacher themselves never learned algebra, maybe never even learned math. So how do you actually do this, right? So the whole idea is that we deliver this content electronically. There's also a website that we didn't build, of course, but basically you come in here, and I know if I can find my mouse pointer. There it is. This app doesn't look like your typical app, like something that you guys would probably like to use, but it's sort of geared more for people in these other countries that would be using it. And so basically you come in here, you pick your section here, probably be really slow loading up. The server's not in Canada. And basically you pick something and then it'll play a video of this. And this is either the teacher would be watching this to learn it for themselves so they could reteach it, or they could just try to do this as part of the lesson. So yeah. Yeah.
So how do they access this stuff? Do they have like iPads?
So it can be through the web, it can be through mobile. Like the whole idea is that like in a little town or whatever, they'd have internet connectivity. Don't ask me how they do that, but there's internet connectivity, and then they would have like this iPad or in a centralized location, right? So all the teachers at that school or even neighboring schools would be able to go to this one place, and then they could get the access to this stuff. So you might go there as a teacher once a week or something, and then learn your lessons for next week or whatever it is, and then you'd be able.
This is for the teachers to learn the lessons.
It could be for the kids too. I mean, the things are very geared for kids too, so I guess it's sort of scalable, right? I mean, depending on how poor your country is, maybe the kids would have an iPad or have access to one at the library or something, right? I don't know. So that's sort of that app. Okay.
We got two more. Hopefully this is going to work. I probably put this first. Like
can find my mouse pointer again. There it is. Okay, so this is an app. This is why I wanted to do the demo on the actual iPad or on the phone, because it's so much more impressive. So this is actually a banking app we built for Affinity. This is actually real banking. Like, I'm actually talking to the banking system right now. This is not a demo. So if I can find my mouse pointer here.
You know how rich you are.
Richer than you think.
So hopefully it'll work. There we go. So I logged in. So we're actually in the real banking system now. Basically, these are actual accounts. I can do transfers and pay bills and this kind of thing. There was a lot of security involved, obviously, in making this app. There was an independent security firm had to, go through our source code and everything, and it was a very involved process. But basically, you go through and you do the transfer. And this is live on the store. Customers are using this every day. But the reason I wanted to show this mainly was for this one feature, Deposit Anywhere. This is actually, I guess you can see the terms and conditions, but I'll skip the tutorial. So this feature is actually the ability to, with your phone, take a picture of a check. That's why I brought a check, but I can't demo it for you, sorry. You take a picture of a check, and once you've taken the picture, it deposits at the bank. So you don't actually have to go to the bank, it'll just deposit it by the image of the check, right? So
Do you eventually have to deposit the check?
no, you destroy the check. Because it's still already deposited.
But you wait until you spend the money.
So basically how it works is obviously we get the image, we have to put in a certain format, verified in certain ways, we send it off to places we can't describe, and then it's verified, we get back an error message and all that stuff. Yes, sir?
So they have like a verification, because I'm just thinking I would hate someone to get hold of one of my checks and write a big amount on and do that and deposit it, spend the money and then...
Yeah, this technology is really new in Canada. Like we worked with Affinity. This is the first in Saskatchewan for any bank, like RBC, you name it, all those banks. This is the first, and actually third in Canada, right? So, but in the States, this has been existing for like 5-10 years, right? It's not new. And in the States, this sort of technology, there's not a lot of fraud on it. The reason is because if I do take a check of Sarah's and I deposit it in my account, well, they know who I am because I have the account open, right? Exactly. So it's pretty easy to catch me as a criminal. Because, question about?
Yeah, what's with credit union? This is Affinity Credit Union app, and I think I've seen on your website before you've partnered with a couple of other credit union branches.
Yeah, we've done several.
Sorry, not branches, but
Organizations.
yeah, institutions.
Yes, we about 8 or 10 we've done. Yeah.
What is the? Is there any push towards? Will there ever be a push towards centralized credit union applications credit unions being segregated? Like, I'm from a small town, Saskatchewan. We're part of Crossroads Credit Union, Kenora, Saskatchewan, right? Would they ever get? Are you like going to be able to white label this basically to the other credit unions? Are they ever going to be able to share your code? And all the credit unions benefit from this?
Yes, this app was paid for through the credit unions. All the credit unions work together, more like the other banks are like vicious and try to kill each other, right? But the credit unions try to work together more. So how this was actually funded is the credit unions got together and created what they called an innovation fund. It was an innovation fund that all the credit unions would share the benefits of this innovation fund, right? Okay. So they all put a little bit of money in it all together, a little bit, maybe a lot to us, right? But they all put this money into this innovation fund, and this is to fund new, exciting technologies. So when I say this was, the credit unions were first, right? The last time credit unions were first with anything was ATM machines, which was a long time ago, right? So they were first in Canada for this. None of the banks have this. ING Direct is starting to roll it out for some of their clients, but not all. So they're maybe 6 months, maybe a year ahead of most banks with this because of this innovation fund. And of course, the innovation fund wasn't just to fund one thing. It's going to be many things, right? And all credit unions are supposed to benefit from this if they choose to. You don't have to do this. You can still do things the way you've done it before. Who cares, right? But if you want to be involved in it, that's the whole credit union way, right?
So can you take it to the World Bank now? Or
no, this app only works for Affinity. You'd have to do any check from any bank will work, right?
No, I get that. I'm just wondering if you're able to sell the code again to somebody else.
Yes, but the answer is that everybody has a different banking system, and so there's a lot of reworking involved. The banking backends are very different. Well, not always different, but they're very different. So this app, one of the questions they got when they released it was, what happens when you try to deposit the same check more than once? It actually, that's what I'm trying to show you guys, but I can't do it. Basically, what it does is you get an error message back. Instead of saying, your transfer was successful, blah, 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 you get back, this check has already been deposited, you know. So what else would you expect, right? So, okay, so that was it for that one. Sorry it took so long here.
Is that through OCR immediately, or is that like
you get a response within 5 seconds usually. Usually it can be 3, it can be up to 10 depending on if you have a good connection or not. The images are quite large that we have to send in a certain format and everything. So there's a lot of overhead with this security and everything. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess my point was that you're actually using image recognition.
Oh yeah, big time. Big time.
Just before you change, I thought of one more question. What's the minimum version for an iPhone to be able to run this? If you're using the camera?
iOS 4.3 is what is required. And you can have the iPhone 3GS was the lowest we supported. Affinity was really into old phones, way more than I would like, because they didn't want to support 4, but whatever, we did it. 4 is like, I don't know, 1% of the market, right? So who cares about 4, whatever. They don't want to alienate them with their customers. Okay. And I got one more here.
But it's cheaper to buy those 3 guys in your phone.
So Sarah, who invited her down here, actually built an app for her and her company. So I think this is a cool one too. And so basically, as you launch the app, you pick your city, of course. That's the first thing you have to do as a customer. We can see that screen because I've already picked my city. But if you're in Saskatoon, you can see the list of trusted businesses in whatever area you want. So let's say I'm interested in fitness and gyms. Here's some gyms. Let's say I'm really interested in Fitness Focus. I can come in here, I can get directions, information about the business, phone them directly. And then if I go back, I can also, in anything, I can also see where they are relative to me. I don't think my network's very good. Oh, there we go. Launch the map and everything. And you also have tips on finding different types of people. So let's say I was looking for florists. Here's some tips on that. This comes directly from Sarah's website. And you can also do searches and that sort of thing. Anything I should add, Sarah? The contest maybe?
Contest, I guess. And
yeah.
Video runs in there really well. And we can also, the measurability is great because through analytics we can tell customers not even that they looked at the category, which we can do through the Google Analytics. We can tell them that they went to the category, looked at the business, and then even got directions to the business. So it's absolute trackability all the way back to sales.
And that's important for the...
It's for proof, you know? Yeah, because a lot of SMBs don't really get measurability to the extent that analytics allows you to. So this offers, okay, so they called you, they got directions to your business, you know. What else do you want? It's like, do you have to set up a video unit?
So they actually went there and bought something? Yeah. And then you also have the cotton test, which is now sort of by city because we fixed that, right? And then basically people enter the contest to win. And what do you think about that?
No, because we've had so far 2,100 contest entries.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So is that contest for individual
people ongoing. So if you download the app, enter the contest, and it's an ongoing contest. So you enter once. We have everything kind of it comes as an email. I've got a file on the computer. I check to make sure you have no people entering several times, and then we draw prizes on a regular basis. The next one's going to be a colour-given water filter for all people in Saskatoon, and we just randomly choose a winner. We have Craven tickets, Tragedy Hip tickets, like. All kinds of stuff. So it's an ongoing contest and you just enter once.
Okay, on behalf of Trusted Saskatoon.
Yes, and we have Trusted Saskatoon and Trusted Regina partners give the prizes for the app contest, which happens. We have a draw every 6 weeks.
Yeah, and I do think we made really good use of analytics in this app because, like you said, you can track every single thing they do.
Yeah, they love that because in general analytics, because we just do the page, they may share the page with 2 other businesses, so to have it right down to their business and directions and actions is great.
And we also, when you go into say bathrooms, we randomize the order of this. So if someone else used the app, they would probably get a different order, or could get a different order, I should say, because it's random, right? So that's pretty much all my demos. Any other questions or anything, guys? Girls?
Well, thanks, Chad. That was
Okay.
great.